So, what is the healthcare data value chain? Ultimately, this is meant to be a representation of how major enterprise healthcare organizations, so major payers, major providers, think about their foundational infrastructure for digital health. Too often, technology companies that are selling to these enterprise buyers take too much of a inside out approach. What's so great about me? What's so great about our product? Very focused on pain point problem selling, right? And they're less concerned about the entire ecosystem that an enterprise buyer really needs to manage and make sure is like living and breathing. So when we say healthcare data value chain, what we really mean is healthcare data infrastructure, foundational healthcare data infrastructure at the enterprise for the way the enterprises think about it. We're really talking about the full function of getting data in. What do you do with all that data? And then getting data out and sharing the data with all the external parties. And so we're thinking integration and interoperability. We're thinking data quality and data uplift. We're thinking data storage and data usability at rest and at deployment. We're thinking analytics, which includes artificial intelligence and machine learning in the large swath of segments and subsegments that have popped up around the flash of innovation we've seen in recent years there. And then also very important is we're talking about cybersecurity. We're in a very vulnerable moment in the healthcare industry where even organizations at the top, tippy top, Fortune 10 caliber organizations are not immune to major cybersecurity incidents, whether it's carried out by a malicious actor or some sort of a major business continuity incident or everything in between. On the payer side, when you look at a living, breathing ecosystem, payers are much more intentional about not giving any one vendor too much control. In some cases, very intentionally, strategically, might have two directly competing vendors working with two different areas of their business intentionally, right? Some might call it a bake-off, but bake-offs usually represent a smaller time frame or proof of concept, whereas it's more of a long-term strategy, not to over rely on any one vendor and therefore to have multiple in the mix. But also, there are some times where these organizations are so large where there are silos where you don't know that there's a vendor somewhere in the mix somewhere that can help you and you might be able to leverage. And so sometimes it's accidental. And so that living, breathing ecosystem, sometimes intentionally using a multi-vendor approach, sometimes not. And there's a real look on efficiency, identifying gaps and redundancies, gaps that need to be filled or redundancies that need to be eliminated, and intentional areas where you want to create different strategic parallel paths. When we say healthcare data value chain, we're really just trying to architect and to have a living, breathing, thriving healthcare data ecosystem.